Welcome back to the podcast. And today we're talking with Reem, and she graduated IB last year, right?
Yeah, that's correct, last year.
And we're gonna be talking about the pros and cons about doing IB and how it has helped her in her further education. So yeah, it would be great if you just want to introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, I'm Reem. I did IB and I graduated in 2020. Um, and it was an interesting year for me because we had the global pandemic COVID, so that kind of disrupted everything that we had worked hard for 2 years. And yeah, now I'm a graduate of the IB and I'm starting pre-med in the University of Buckingham in England.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So did you have exams whenever you graduated IB?
No, I didn't. They basically looked at our IAs and our predicted grades, and they made a composite based on an algorithm to determine what our grade would be.
Interesting. I've heard really bad things and good things about that at the same time, like
Yeah.
the algorithm thing. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we weren't really told necessarily what this algorithm was, what it meant until the very end after we had received our grades. And I guess there was a mixed reaction. For me, it was I was okay with it because it heavily depended on coursework, which I was really good at. But I know a lot of my friends were upset because they got grades that didn't reflect who they were. And I guess for me, it was the same a bit. For some subjects, I was disappointed with, but I guess there wasn't much that we could do to change the results. So,
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that doing IB has helped you, like getting into the universities and stuff, compared to like other high school educations?
I mean, in regards to the pros of IB, I would say it's very diverse in comparison to other educational sectors. Um, in comparison to other educational sectors, some other educational sectors like A levels, they determine with just 3 subjects um, what your whole life will be based on. Whereas with IB, it's very diverse, so there's other subjects that can potentially like impact your grade and help you in the end. So I do see a lot of pros in IB because it gives a holistic approach of what an individual is and what they can achieve. And also in university, it's very helpful because you do a lot of research, as I'm learning now. And with all the research components in IB, it does prepare you very well for university life. So I
Hmm.
do see a lot of pros with
That's
IB.
that's great to hear from someone who's actually graduated IB.
Yeah.
Since we're almost done now. What about the cons though? Like, what were some of the things you think?
Well, I mean, with the cons for especially my year, I guess it was an algorithm that if you were like a high fly achiever, this kind of did jeopardize your grade because you weren't given another opportunity to redeem yourself in the exams. So there is a con if there was another like pandemic or a situation like this to occur, that some people will find the IB a disadvantage to them. So I mean, there's not many cons that I would say with IB, but if like let's say you don't enjoy coursework, then IB potentially isn't the right educational sector for you to choose because it is heavily orientated with coursework and exam. And yes, there is a heavy component with coursework. So that's kind of one of the cons. If you're not really into coursework, then
Hmm.
this you might struggle a bit with this particular educational sector.
Yeah, definitely. What country did you study IB in?
I did it in Saudi Arabia in the city of Riyadh.
Interesting. What made you choose IB, like compared to other educational sectors?
I mean, for me, I kind of wanted a holistic educational sector because it was either A level, which is a UK educational program, or it was going to be IB. And I kind of didn't agree with the fact that they had gotten rid of most of the coursework in A level, and that everything was just determined on a exam that you would have to take after 2 years. So anything that you did, any projects that you did, didn't count for your grades. So I didn't see that that was unfair. That was fair. Sorry.
Mm.
Um, so IB kind of was a. It was an interesting. It was an interesting proposition that my mother gave to me because it wasn't just exam. It was also CAS. It was also an extended essay. And I mean, for me and my twin sister, that was just really interesting to hear that an educational sector had a like a physical component and a service component. Also, especially the CAS project was just for us, it was just really interesting to know that that existed. So I guess it was just a holistic in educational sector that really appealed to me and my twin sister.
Mm. Okay, interesting. What is it like studying in England compared to
What's it like studying in England?
yeah.
Well, um, I'm not the most positive person to give a viewpoint into England because I guess I came during a pandemic, so it
Uh,
was quite hard for me to try and adapt to I guess doing university online. I mean, if you ask my sister, she's sitting next to me, she'll give you a different perspective. Whereas for myself, it's quite it's quite negative. If you would like to hear from her perspective.
yeah, that'd be great actually. That'd be fun.
Oh, hi, I'm Noor. I'm
Hey,
with. How are you guys?
pretty good, and you?
I'm great. Sorry, yeah, me and Reem are kind of like polar opposites. She, no offense, doesn't like the UK, whereas I'm someone who really likes the UK. I think the difference between, I guess, I don't know, studying in Saudi Arabia and the UK, it's primarily the weather. The weather here is really nice. Um,
What? Really?
yeah.
I expected to hear the
That's very
complete opposite.
You guys, I don't know what the weather's like in Denmark, but you know, I heard someone telling me recently, you know, if you're living in a country where like you're so used to the cold weather, you're gonna obviously want change. But I
Mm.
guess we actually lived in Saudi Arabia for 15 years, so we were really adapted to the heat. So I just really enjoy the cold.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that's interesting.
yeah. And like with Sunday, it wasn't really hot. It was like, sorry, it wasn't really humid. It was just like heat. Like you get sun. It's kind of like in a way that I experienced like Spain, like Spanish weather, but you never get cold. Like it was just always heat.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine that can be a bit too much in the long
yeah,
run.
it was a bit too much. But I mean, everywhere was always air conditioned, and I guess it was like how do you describe it? It was a cosmopolitan, but I guess modern. It kind of does remind me of England, but like the weather, like you can.
No.
Really? No?
No,
Interesting.
I don't know what she's saying. I think in regards to studying, I think one thing that your high school counselors will really emphasize, and you probably won't take seriously.
They just finished.
Oh yeah, but deadlines are very important. You know, I've tried like in high school, you could look at like sweet talk or like get around like getting away your deadlines. You're like, oh miss, just give me an extra week or something.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, but when it comes to university, you cannot do that. Like
Like we tried to sweet talk some of our professors.
it didn't work.
They were not impressed.
Like I really need to emphasize how important it is to meet your deadlines. Like in IB, they also, of course, you have your IAs and you had your deadlines and you had um your essays due in, and some students are like, okay, I'll just hand it in like 3 days later. But with university, like there's like once the deadline is up at 4 p.m., like that's it. Like you're just not gonna get a grade after that. So that's one thing I guess that I really wish I'd taken seriously in high school. That I can only wish you guys can prepare for in university. But it's interesting where we are because our university is very diverse. Like we have colleagues in America, well, London is fairly near, but like in Kuwait, in what else?
Wow.
We were in Saudi.
Birmingham.
So it's really nice, I guess, having that diversity coming from a high school where we were filled with different nationalities. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but I'm sure if you're doing the IB, it's fairly international
Yeah.
per se.
It
So
definitely is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one nice thing living in the UK. It's so diverse. If we had gone to university in Saudi Arabia, oh my gosh, we'd be just stuck with like purely Saudis or like purely Asian background. Like, it wouldn't be international at all. Like, we'd be forced
Mhm.
to speak Arabic.
Yeah, because
And
it would have been quite weird coming from like an American, like an international school with all these people, and then you're
like
going
you have
to just
friends
two
that are
nationalities.
colleagues that are like Korean or some Danish actually or German, and then all of a sudden you go to university, it's like 90% Saudi, and then you're forced to speak Arabic. So I guess it's really nice we came to study in the UK where it's so diverse, and you'll always find like people to chat with, and you'll always find your own clique and everything, or just that
Mm.
was really nice. And I think the international baccalaureate was wonderful in a sense that it brought different people from different backgrounds together and find common similarities
Yeah.
and common ground that you will probably keep forever. You'll keep some of these friends you'll have forever, or you'll use this sort of like this diverse background and you'll carry it on through university and you'll make so many different friends
some
from
of the
different
components
backgrounds.
that you'll just remember for life, like the CAST project, we went to Jordan and we helped Syrian refugees. So I mean,
Whoa,
for us that
really?
was, yeah, that was
That's
So
actually a really awesome cast practice, to be honest.
I
yeah.
know. So, and we got to see like a very fragile side from like how the children like suffered during war and how the mothers lost their husband during war. I mean, it was just a like an emotional roller coaster for us.
Yeah, and that's what like I guess encouraged us to go down the medical route because we wanted to help these people and
Yeah.
CAST let us do that. So that was fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, I know
not only that, it looks great on a
Yeah.
CV, but like that's of your
concerns.
least your concerns. But it primarily wants us to go down
Yeah.
medical route. So I guess IB really opened that. Like if we had taken A levels, oh my gosh, we'd be like these stuffy, like preppy,
Pompous.
kids. We're like, oh yeah, we've never had an experience. I'm sorry, I don't know why I put on a British accent for that. But anyways, yeah, it just it opens so many doors, and
like I know CAST project was so hard for us because we're like, what are we gonna do? But
we had to think hard because we live in Saudi Arabia. What's like,
there to do?
What's there to do? So it was such a like you're open to so many possibilities and you're open to so many backgrounds. In A levels, you just take if you're becoming a doctor, you just take biology, chemistry, physics. That's it. Like you won't be able to see like the arts. Like we got to take theater. Come on, like that's who takes theater and goes to medical route. You barely hear that.
That is actually true.
But it made us like more confident. Like we were like these shy, weak kids coming into IB, and all of a sudden, like I'm talking to you, dude. Like it's amazing how IB it changes personalities. It helps you grow.
Even though we were very angry with them during our exams,
and we insted them so many angry texts in regards to our thing.
Are you guys one of the people that signed up for the petitions things online too?
Sorry, go on.
Did you also like participate in the petitions things online?
Oh
Like
gosh,
cancel the exams?
you started. Are you joking?
Petitioner.
I can imagine.
Actually, I knew the guy that made the petition that used to go to our school, and then he didn't do A level, he did IB, and he's like, we gotta fight for our right. And I was like, okay, guy, let's do this.
Yeah, we're it's such a hate-love relationship. Like,
I know.
we'll be like, oh my god, we love the IB, and it's like, no, we need to fight the IB.
And we got blocked by them on Instagram and Twitter, and
I got blocked for 2 days. Yeah, I got blocked for 2 days. It was so funny.
Interesting. This will be great whenever the IB hears about this CAST project we're doing. It's just us.
It was all a joke. You tell us about our human rights, and we were just evoking them.
We were using our IB learner profile.
Please don't.
Hell yeah.
But
Independent thinking and stuff.
Yeah, we do have as nurse say, a love-hate relationship with the IB, but we continue to I
tell everyone to take the IB.
We continue to be an avid supporter.
If I know someone who's really good at coursework, because honest to God, I'm not very good at exams. I'll be honest. I really did try my hardest in the IAs, and I think it does help you for university. Like we have so many summatives, and yourselves, if you're going to university, I'm sure wherever Denmark,
you're not going to be as
UK,
surprised as someone like our friend that took A level. She's like, what's a summative? What's a formative? What's research? How do I start from
what's
academic?
a citation? Like they don't teach them what's a citation. In IB, you're forced to write citations. Like for theater, we had this teacher who would proper make us write out 50 citations. That's theater, okay? So, but looking back at it, 14 pages. Oh my god, of pure theater work. But looking at it, that helped me so much, and I'm sure to you guys, doing research, you're gonna look at them and be like, oh my god, I literally just did this in IB, whereas if you look at someone, I don't know, in a Danish education system who'll be with you, or someone from A levels, they'll literally spend 3 months trying to learn what citation is, and that's just ridiculous.
Because even my friend who's taking business and we're taking medicine, we came to a multilateral agreement that we do research at university. It doesn't feel like when you go to university, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to make clubs, I'm going to make friends, the coursework's going to be easy. I remember this was a lot of American kids that used to say when they'd come back, they'd be like, oh, university's a breeze. But in an English university, I feel like a Scottish university, or even a European, you do a lot of research, which they don't emphasize enough at high school. And
unless you've taken the IB.
Unless you've taken the IB. It doesn't determine what course you go into, medicine, business. You will still at one point do research, because that's what university is trying to employ more into the educational sector, is get us ready for research to publish papers and stuff. So, so the IB really does help you there.
Yeah.
One of our
Honestly,
last podcasts was actually with a Danish guy who is in also like almost about to graduate high school in
yeah.
Danish systems, and we also did like pros and cons, and that was also where we kind of concluded on the IB. He said it really does prepare you for your university, and like kind of
It,
seems to be underrated in
no,
at a
it
high school.
really does. It
Unless you're
really
going to
does.
America, I don't know what they do there, but
I'm
yeah.
sure. Oh, well, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole different
But
system.
we know a lot of dropouts, so that's a disadvantage to us.
Mhm.
In America. Yeah, no, I honestly, I enjoyed doing the IB. I always think about it when I do my projects late at night. I'm like, oh man, I did this like
Like a
last
few years
year.
back.
Yeah, I remember I was stressing for that one. Where were my citations? But yeah, no, it was amazing. It was honestly like I had probably one of the best. I think me and him had one of the best high school experience coming from a stuffy British. It's no offense.
I call it a stuffy autocratic society into a more diverse, accepting
Yeah, no,
one.
and it was just really nice having that, and really nice like being able like here in the UK they do something I don't know if you guys know, but it's called the DOV.
DOV. Why do you say
I
DOV?
don't know. Anyways, DOV. So it's literally cast though, but like because the educational system in the UK is purely just exam based, like Prince Philip who passed away, rest his soul, rip rip. Um, he made this program where like it's not just about education. It's where you go camp cast creative. Sorry, not is it
Mm.
cast?
Yeah,
It's physical activity. It's service. It's literally cast. So I'm like,
That's someone
if
guess, yeah.
it's literally cast, honest to God, and you get like a little certificate, and you can like go up the ladder and do it like for 4 years, and you get like a golden certificate or something. So I'm like, if you're implementing that, which is it's literally in the international baccalaureate. Why not just put the international baccalaureate? You know, like it
Mm.
should be holistic. But I don't know. It's just ridiculous, and I think the COVID has really implemented and showcased like it shouldn't just be about exams. Like, and
Mm.
these kids now in A levels and GCSEs, they're gonna have to be graded based on their homework. Like that's a bit ridiculous, you know. Like how are you going to grade someone based on homework? Like come on. So, I think the IB really does come out superior in that sense where, if you ever had a pandemic, they'll just use your coursework and you should take all your coursework seriously. Like I had this one girl who's like, I don't care if I get a 3. I won't even hand it in. It's like, I'll just rely on the exam. And that sort of mentality is not great because
and the
no
exam
offense.
came and we never did it.
Yeah. So, you should like put as much hard work in all your things. Like for me and Reem, I think because we really truly enjoyed coursework, we did really well.
We also enjoyed the exams. Like some
No.
not English, but
No.
sciences. We enjoyed
Yeah,
the
science
sciences.
exactly. Sorry guys, it's nature. It's literally like
It's
nature.
beginner
It's
science.
beginner science. But yeah, something like English is so hard. I don't know. Like
Well, I have English B high level, and to be honest, I don't think I don't find that challenging. To be honest, but I think English A
the welcome part
is
for
a lot
you.
more difficult.
Sorry, what was that again?
English A is a pain in the ass. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. We can agree on that.
Hi, Andreas. You're not part of this conversation.
Yeah, God bless English B high level. To be honest, I love that subject. Do you guys have any like tips for the exams? Oh wait, oh I'm sorry, I forgot.
Well, we
You
never
guys
did the
didn't.
exams, but we can give
Sorry,
you tips.
Andreas, what were you saying there before we cut you off?
I forgot that you guys didn't take the exams, right?
Well, we did do mocks, and we
Ah,
did
okay.
do loads of exams to get our
To get our
predictions.
predictions.
We were
Mm.
pretty good. I think most importantly when it comes to doing exams is do as many past papers as you can find online. The more recent, the more better.
Like
Mm.
I know some kids when we were helping them the 2019 class for some of their exams because they'd come into the library. I'd see one girl and she'd be like, "Oh, I didn't even read this book. I gotta start reading." I was like, "No, stop. Let's get a past paper. Let's try and work through this. Like, let's try and see what you know from your memory." Like,
Mm.
the best advice that we would say is don't learn something new. Like, unless it's really quick. Like Desnor said, past papers is the way to understand what IB is
Yeah,
teaching.
not unless like they've changed the curriculum, then God help your soul.
God
like,
help you.
yeah, no, but for something like, for example, I can give you an example in global politics. I think one of you guys took global
Yeah,
politics.
Andreas, you take
Yeah.
global. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had this teacher who I didn't like, but everyone loved. And what he would do every like Thursdays, he would make us
All do past
all
papers.
do a past paper question.
From paper 1 and
And
paper 2.
we'd have to write it, and then he'd have to grade it.
Yeah.
So you know, that's one way. And he also had like this massive folder where it had all the case studies, and students made this, not him. So anyone could add in the case study and add
it
in
was
the
a summary.
conflict.
Yeah, so it was like a whole big table on like what the key concepts were and a summary of what the event was,
and like
how
which
you could find
unit,
similar.
like does it correlate to
under,
power
yeah.
and sovereignty or human rights? So that was really helpful, and I think in a sense kind of like a cheat sheet to try and do the exam.
That's what they call it, a cheat sheet.
It was a cheat sheet. And so that was really good. For English, it was a bit different because we had a teacher who like fell asleep in class.
Interesting.
Whereas interesting own stories. Americans are right. Anyways, we did past papers as well. And I think that honest, hands down, one of the best ways to prepare for any exams is to find out the keys and tricks in past papers. If it's something new, then you're just gonna have to prey on your knowledge. But you know, I think for like
the majority of
most
them,
of the,
all of
the
them,
subjects
just,
where you have to do a lot of essay work, then you can successfully, you know, get by through it with past papers. Or for
the same even with maths. If you just look at maths past papers also. But I mean, if it's a new topic, then I guess nor said your knowledge, I guess.
Maths
like
purely relies down to knowing how to
or for ours it was how to use a calculator.
How to use a calculator, yeah, exactly. You need to know how to use your TI calculator.
Yeah,
that's the thing I have in university.
We were just saying this because, like, when it comes to pre-med, you're literally learning science, maths, everything all over again. And even when you get to med school, you also do a lot of maths. So the cheat sheet that we have is our TI Texas 84.
Thank God I did IB, you know. So you have your calculator in your pocket and you're like, anyways.
But yeah, I guess the best tips is past papers. And I know everyone says it and it can be quite annoying, but that's the one way to succeed. And also, if you another thing that I found out very good for when I was helping someone in the 2019 class was if you have someone there with you that you can run through like quick, fast responses. Like if you're trying to remember like global politics, especially,
or lines from
English, or what are maths? No. Or science also. If you have someone there, if you have a friend that can like quickly run through something.
Of the mitochondrial cells.
Yeah, like, that's good to have somebody with you to
like study with a friend, perhaps, who knows a lot. Yeah.
And I guess
also having, as well as I've noticed, like I'm only learning this now, how important having good keynotes.
Yeah, flashcards.
I never thought I'd ever have to use it for math, but then I realized, like, I had a tutor who was like, "You don't use keynotes," and she just laughed at me, and I was like, cards. And then I started making them. I was like, okay, well, these are actually really helpful.
And for Go Politics, they help so much. Like, mine, they were so helpful. And I guess the same even with English. We never met them for English, but we should have.
Yeah, no, like, it's funny how people are like, you know, you're a visual learner, you're auditory. Like, that actually does exist, because I've noticed I am a visual learner. Like, I cannot process it if it's not on a whiteboard. So I'm only learning that now, and that's, like, becoming really helpful for me in university.
And I guess the main key point for exams is don't stress. Yeah. Like, I remember my friend for English, I was running over the lines, and then the exam she stressed out and she didn't even do the paper, and I was so disappointed in her. But I mean, just don't freak out.
Exactly.
That's what she thought out of the exam. I was like, oof. So just don't stress. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly. These exams, I know, like, people are like, how do I do well? How do I get a 7? It's not the end of the world. You still have university to get to, and no matter where you go in the world, it just depends on getting into uni and then getting your degree and then getting a job. Like, that's just how the cycle works. Like, you need to, like, for me right now in university, I'm just thinking, okay, I've finished all these units now. My priority is the exams, to finish them. And then, okay, if I get the exams, then I'll move on to next stage 1, you know. So, you know, at the end of the day, no one's really, I remember our IB coordinator, I remember I didn't do well in one of my subjects, and I was, like, really down. I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to go to cruise entertaining, bye sir. And he was just like, no, stop. Like, at the end of the day, no one's gonna ask you, where did you get your IB diploma from? Where did you get your high school diploma? It only matters like how you got there and your end result. And I was like,
I told him cruise ship entertainer.
I was like, oh, I'm asking. And he's like, no, you're not. I was like, oh. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't get the exams. I've noticed it's not the end of the world. Like, I literally don't, like, I'm not upset anymore about my
enough, like, some of our friends that got like 3 in HL chemistry and like were predicted really like 7, like high achievers, they're in university. So I mean, that says something. That's what I always take away from that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
except one kid that got like a 20. I don't know where he is, but like. But other than that, we've had kids that have had like 26, and they're in university. Like again, like universities are gonna understand what you went through, especially.
You know, and the
during
IB on their
pandemic.
Instagram page, they promoted the University of the People. So if you're really stuck, you can go there. But I wouldn't recommend it.
It is kind of calming to hear. At 26, but, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have any more questions, but I think we've gone over time.
Yeah, that was a nice ending actually with the tips and tricks. That's very useful for us because we have exams soon. So yeah.
But good luck, guys.
Are you guys doing exams or?
Yeah, they're doing exams.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
we're doing
Hello.
all of our exams.
So are you guys like, what are your take on that? Are you guys happy? Do you wish you had this amazing algorithm we had? Like what are your opinions?
I honestly, I'm really disappointed that we have the exams. I was
Okay.
really like praying that we wouldn't have them because I was really happy about my predicted grades, and I always kind of mess up during the exams.
Yeah. No, I can totally relate. Yeah.
Yeah,
about you?
so
I'm kind of the same as Andreas, but I'm happy that the IB like listened and then reduced the amount of exams that we have. So in some subjects like global politics, one of our papers got removed. So I think that's pretty nice. So
they
then
like made the
then-
curriculum's kind of smaller, right? And they also took out international economics, I think.
yeah.
No, sorry, development. But yeah.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Peter. Am I hearing an Irish accent in there?
You are indeed, yes.
Sorry, we're like, of course we have American accents, but like we're from Mayo, so
We're like half
Ireland.
the-
Yeah, we're from Mayo.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, actually, so we're Irish Iraqi, and we were born in Germany. That's just gonna confuse everyone. So yeah, we're very international. Yeah. So there we go. But
So may the luck be with you.
yeah, no, I'm sure
Wow.
you guys will be really fine. Yeah, wow. I feel so bad
Thanks
you have exams.
Honestly, it is really disappointing, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so
for us, for
sorry.
theater, I was so annoyed because literally the moment, well, for theater, you don't have any exams. You just hand in 4 pieces of blood, sweat, and tears. Um, and the thing is, the most hated thing was working in a group. So literally the moment we finished, they were like, okay, we're going to get rid of it. So we were like really bummed out. We're like, we went through all that drama because, you know, a group of girls, of course, there's going to be drama.
Because no guy wants to.
Because no guy wants to take theater.
Really?
Yeah,
We don't even have theater at our school, actually. Do
it's
we, Peter?
crazy. Yeah, think about that, guys. Like, actually, hold up. In Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, in an American high school, students are doing theater. Only four students are doing theater, and they still kept the program. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And no guy wants to do it, so it's really sad. So all the girls have to fight each other. Fight for blood. Anyways, yeah,
No, we had 2 guys in the 2019 class that did it, but most of the time they just went vaping. So like it was a great.
That is very stereotypical.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're just vaping in the
In
theater.
the theater
Theater
room.
class.
Oh,
In the black.
it's so funny. Yeah, we had a performance and we were all just huddled in one room. The guy's like,
So we're ready for this?
are we ready for this? No. But yeah, I guess it's really relaxing. But yeah, I'm sure you guys will be totally fine. I feel so sad because like actually our friends in Saudi, the 20
and our friends also in the Middle East, like
they're not doing
they're
exams.
not doing their exams.
So
Yeah.
I,
It really sucks. It
I
really
think
does.
yeah, I think it's because Denmark has done really well in COVID, whereas in Saudi cases are like climbing up.
climbing
Yeah.
up.
But it's weird because the Danish, like the people during Danish high school, they don't have to do all of the exams. They only have to do like, I think it's like 1 oral exam or something, and then that's it.
Wow.
Wait, so
Yeah.
how many students will be in one
big exam
one
room.
exam hall?
Honestly, I have no clue. I don't know if you do that, Peter. Do you know that?
For us, it was
Yeah.
how many people took? It was 100 kids that took IB.
Like
So
40, I think.
there's 40. Okay, you guys are chilling.
Yeah, you guys
Okay, we had
Yeah,
100.
yeah.
Your own room.
Was that 100?
150.
Oh yeah, it was 150.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
really
no.
like a big school then.
Yeah, no, it literally looks like a university. It's crazy. They have their own fountain and everything.
Whoa.
And like the flags, like the UN, and you weren't allowed to walk.
You couldn't walk across the globe.
Yeah, they have like a globe etched in the. It's a very fancy school, but
That sounds way
Yeah, no,
fancier than our
we
school.
don't
And,
think of us as fancy people. Like, we had to go there because in Saudi Arabia there's only like 2 international schools, and it was either that one or the British school. So,
okay.
So yeah, it was. We don't wear preppy high school uniforms now. Sorry guys. It was mostly just the American styles.
yeah, you wear jeans and
No, you couldn't wear jeans.
yeah, you could, of course.
Oh yeah, we could.
We wore jeans.
That was the
Did
only
you guys go
uniform.
to the same school?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we did. We're twins.
We're
same age.
identical twins. So.
Wow,
Wow,
Oh.
that's
We
pretty
did
cool
the
actually.
same projects, and now we're in the same uni doing the same course.
it's crazy.
So yeah,
Best
the
person.
best-
Actually, it's good because we used to just like.
we used to copy off each other.
Yeah, it's you have your own copy. Your
Copying machine.
Wow,
But
but
Andreas and Peter, all the best of luck for your IB exams. We're sure
yeah,
you'll.
thanks a
You
lot.
still need someone
Thank
to like spam the IB, trying to get you guys out of exams. Like, we're
You're-
totally ready.
We'll hit you up.
Anyways,
But yeah,
It was lovely chatting with you.
thanks.
Any
Yeah,
more?
thanks so much for like helping with the EE and
No,
participating in our podcast.
All the best. If you're in the UK, I don't know, give us a shout.
and we'll come
Yeah,
over.
we'll do.
Or, I don't know, Ireland. Are you going to Ireland? No, Peter?
That's the plan in the summer. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Which university are you thinking of applying to?
Gap year. That's my plan.
Oh,
Hey.
very nice, very nice.
And go traveling or something.
That's nice.
Yeah,
And then
something
after
like
that, any plans?
Sorry?
No. After that, do you have any plans? Or you not going to go to Trinity, Dublin, JK? I don't know. I didn't apply. We weren't allowed to. So.
We weren't allowed to apply.
Well, I'm
Uh,
also.
We'll see with grades.
Yeah.
No worries. And
Totally.
you guys will do fine. All the
And
best.
Andreas, any plans of applying around?
Definitely gonna take a gap year, but I might do university in Hong Kong to be honest.
Cool!
Yeah.
IB sending kids all over the world.
Be a poster child for the IB. If I get good enough grades, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, honest to God, you might actually find, because actually the IB, they have a lot of IBO schools in China and Hong Kong. So
Yeah.
you probably,
Also,
your whole
guys,
class
in
will probably have done
case we
IB.
didn't say, before you do graduate, do make sure you sign up to, again, me representing the IB, do make sure you sign up to the IB alumni, because, I mean,
IB what, sorry?
the IB alumni, because they do
Never
like
heard of that.
courses, and they also invite some students to come and speak at them. So they
So
might
we'll-
invite you guys.
So we'll see you guys at the
That'd be
alumni.
hella cool. Yeah.
Yeah, all the best, guys.
All of us have a great
Yeah,
one.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.
See
Have a
you.
good one. Bye.
Bye.